card.
They got kind of those in the market.
A couple months ago, they wanted lock. It was a position for the boarding safety. Probation.
So this one.
That is the probation. That one's really good. Actually, it was a commission for lighting.
Reread exam course end of the month.
Okay.
And so I'm looking forward to that.
Do you think it's similar to good?
Not too far. I live in Villa Rica. Actually, in Villa Rica, which is 10 minutes away. That's my home. Got another house in Fairview. Not too far.
Douglas County, 20 years.
Thank you, though. Ever seen the other guy? The one on Chapel Hill, he has a boat over at the, what's his name? What's his name, David too? 44. Yeah, it could be. Could be David Ford.
And then that one
Live on Chapel Hill down by the hospital.
no,
Is that the same?
that'd be Bill Carter. Carter from
Yeah, okay, it must be him. We cleaned the, over at the facility where the trailer is near the lake. And I was with a few others.
Dave Fuller lives in Airport on Dulles Road.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, I
the
didn't
regiment is
I didn't know you were a resident. I didn't know you were a resident.
had one of our members from Dixie Springs. Use his bikes when they do parades. I didn't hear the name.
So when did they change the name? You said skin.
Skin chestnut.
Skin?
Chestnut. Like a chestnut tree?
Yeah.
Skin chestnut. And that's what the Indians call it. There was that was their limb, skin chestnut. And it was the logo for Douglasville for years. And the guy that designed it died a couple years ago. As soon as he died, they come up and changed the logo to a D and 4 little square boxes. Like, that stinks. You may see it on some of the slides or something on the signage. It's part-time for you. I think the skin skint chestnut is a
Yeah,
part-time.
very much part-time, yeah.
Yeah.
A D. Yeah. Could be Dallas,
Exactly.
Decatur. Duh.
I saw the people like, I remember certain all the people in the weekend and stuff, you know, big stuff like that.
He was the guy that designed the skint chestnut road.
I know it. We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is Monday, August the 19th, 2024. Our invocation will be done by the Reverend Dr. Richard A. Hunter of Midway United Methodist Church. Good evening. After he leads us in the invocation, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mayor Pro Tem City Council Member Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation.
Mayor Robinson and members of the City Council, let me assure you that in spite of many words you may receive or rebuttal, that the citizens of this city appreciate the work you do. They see the sacrifices you make. They realize your position here is difficult at times, and you are appreciated for the time and the energy you give. Know that each Sunday, many of our churches are praying for you and the job that you have before us. Never forget that. Let us pray. Dear gracious God, we thank you this day for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country and the many people who serve for us through the military and the armed forces, through the public safety and those that take care of us in so many ways. I ask your blessings this night on the mayor and city council of this city. Give them wisdom in the difficult decisions that they must make. Give them a vision for how to grow our community in unity, in prosperity, and in the welfare of the generations still to come. I ask, O Lord, that you renew kindness in our country and all across this city and county. Give us patience and love for one another. Direct us in all our ways to live a life that is full of purpose and direction. I ask, O Lord, that you give this council and mayor a heart and an eye for those that don't have a voice, that don't have influence, that aren't prestigious or powerful. Let us never forget those who clean the streets and take out the garbage, those who teach our children and work behind the scenes, for they, O Lord, are the pillars of our community. We ask that you guide this meeting tonight, continue to give wisdom and knowledge to those who serve among us. In the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in that pledge, and thank you, Reverend Dr. Hunter, for that beautiful, encouraging prayer. It's in the spirit of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Makes you feel good. Thank you so much. Thank you. We always need prayer. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council meeting. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville. This is a city council meeting of agenda items where official action will be taken tonight on the items that were discussed last Thursday at the legislative work session. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates for you to discuss your business. I'll go over a few protocol issues and then we'll get into the body of the meeting. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level dealing with the facts that are important for the governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. The chair will, if you deviate from that requirement, the chair will ask that you would be removed from the council chambers after a second deviation, a warning and a deviation, second time. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to the speakers or speak from the audience, cheer, or carry on a conversation when you're at the podium. When you're at the podium, please direct all of your comments, questions, concerns to myself or the chairperson. We're only required to accept public comments during your public required public hearings. If you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask that you will please put those in silent mode or turn those off until after the meeting. And this is how the agenda will be handled this evening. The committee chairperson will read his or her agenda item. There will possibly be questions that will be asked of the applicant or his or her after they make their presentation. If there are any new agenda items or comments the council may ask. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience. There is a maximum of 20 minutes. Those are 20 minutes for the item and 20 minutes for those in opposition. And each person has 5 minutes to speak. Prior to coming to the podium, we ask that you would please fill out a speaker card. They're outside on the desk. They're blue cards. If you would fill those cards out, please give that information to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. She will make copies and handle those comments to myself and council members. We have received some comments and concerns from the citizens before this meeting that we will take into consideration once those agenda items have come up. When you come to the podium, please give us your name and address for the record, and then you can proceed with your concerns. This is not a debate format, question and answer. We're here to hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. If you have any printed materials that you would like to give again to Ms. Acker, we ask that you would do that when you come to the podium. Those are all the instructions for the meeting, and we will get into the meat of the meeting. And actually, if you would like a printed copy of the agenda, they're outside on the desk, and/or you can follow us on the screen. So now we are at, after giving all of those instructions and long talking, now we are at a proclamation for item A under number 4. It's a proclamation from myself to present honoring the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, Floridia. Is that correct how you pronounce it? Flotilla. Okay. Flotilla 22, commanded by Earl Burns in conjunction with the 85th anniversary of the Auxiliary Coast Guard. I will read the proclamation, then we'll invite our guests to come forward and have a picture taken. Of course, we'll have some comments before we have the picture done, and we would especially want to hear from Dr. LaShawn Burdanley, council member, to give some comments. You know, she is intimately involved. Office of the Mayor, Rochelle Robinson, proclamation, 85th anniversary of the Coast Guard Auxiliary, August 19th, 2024. Whereas the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary has been a volunteer organization dedicated to the safety and security of our nation's waterways since its inception on June 23rd, 1939. And whereas the Coast Guard Auxiliary is celebrating its 85th anniversary in 2024, making over 8 decades of exemplary service during which its members have volunteered countless hours to promote boating safety, conduct search and rescue missions, and support maritime law enforcement. And whereas Flotilla 22, situated on Lake Allatoona, has been an integral part of this esteemed organization, providing essential services and resources to ensure the safety and well-being of all who enjoy the lake and surrounding areas. And whereas, under the dedicated leadership of Commander Earl Burns, Flotilla 22 has exemplified the values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty, significantly contributing to the safety of Douglasville's community and the border communities and regions as they visit Lake Lanier. Whereas the City of Douglasville is proud to recognize and honor the extraordinary contributions of Flotilla 22 and its members who have demonstrated unwavering commitment to public service and the safeguarding of our waterways. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, do hereby recognize the outstanding services of Commander Earl Burns and Flotilla 22 of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary in the City of Douglasville this 19th day, and encourage all citizens of Douglasville to join me in recognizing this momentous occasion. So proclaimed this 19th day of August 2024. Let's give them a hand, the members that are here, for their service. And Councilmember Dr. Burdanley, would you like to say something?
Just comments. Thank you so much for my fellow cellmates being here. I am definitely honored to be a part of this flotilla. I have to say that anybody that can put up with me other than my husband, Commander Burns, gives me a hard time. I did
Does
ask
he?
the chief, can he help me out? He didn't say he could. He's laughing, but I'm honored. So if you all will come forward,
And thank you for your service as well.
Yes,
You don't
ma'am.
want to wear your uniform tonight, huh?
no, ma'am.
Okay. Any other comments? If not, we'll come around. Would you like to have words, Commander Burns?
Yes, well, the auxiliary is a civilian organization. I
Yes,
was
sir.
on active duty in the regular Coast Guard, and when I retired from the regular Coast Guard, I was recruited to come back into the Coast Guard to join the auxiliary. Because basically what happens is the lakes and rivers of the United States, the Coast Guard is such a small, one of the smallest armed services. It is the smallest armed service. So the lakes and rivers, the Coast Guard doesn't have the legs to be able to cover those lakes and rivers. So regular civilian, regular people use their own vessels and do patrols. They receive the same training that an active duty member who's out doing patrols around the world, they receive exactly the same training. And they go out there and use their own time. They're not paid.
Wow.
They do receive gasoline and oil for their vessels, but they do not. They pay for their own uniforms.
Wow.
And they do it because of the love of their country, and they just want to keep Americans safe when they're out on the waters. And these folks here, the members that are here, they are, I mean, I am proud. I am proud to call these folks my comrades, members of Flotilla 22. They've taken out of their time, their busy schedules, to come alongside. And LaShawn has really, I mean, she's really shined as my public affairs person, and just really, it's been a lot of fun for me. And I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Commander. We appreciate your service and all our community residents that are giving and volunteering their time. We know that our own council member is a member, and a former Coast Guard was our municipal judge. Judge Keith Rollins served in the Coast Guard. So, but thank you so much, and we'll come around and take a picture.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Put it in there, perfect. All right, big smiles. And hold. Perfect.
That was wonderful. Thank you, citizens, for your patience as we honor people in our community that need to be honored and show honor where honor is due. So now we'll move on to item number 5, which is approval of the agenda. And so I will open the floor for a motion to approve the regular agenda for August 19th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved by Councilmember Davis and second by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Miller to approve item 24-248. Do we have any questions, concerns, or comments from council members about the agenda? Thank you so much. I don't see any. All those in favor of adopting the regular meeting agenda for tonight, which is August 19th, 2024, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-248 is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to the approval of the minutes. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of August 1st, 2024 legislative work session and the minutes of August 5th, 2024 committee meetings, executive session, and regular meeting. I have a motion. Thank you, Councilman Davis. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 24-250. Do we have any concerns, any corrections, or anything about the minutes that anyone sees? I don't see any concerns. All those in favor of approving item 24-250, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-250 is unanimously approved. Now we'll move on to the consent agenda. We're at item number 7. Open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Thank you, Councilmember Miller N. Have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Hudson. It's been properly moved by Councilmember Nicole Miller and second by Councilmember Elena Hudson to approve the consent agenda. Do we have any concerns, any questions, corrections, anything as to consent, as it relates to the consent agenda? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to item number 8, Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on then to Finance, item number 9, which is chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
We have
welcome.
one item tonight.
Yes, sir.
Authorize the mayor to sign a purchase and sale agreement with Buyer Norhaven Partners LLC and to execute any documents related to the city's sale of 7.382 acres at Church Street and Club Drive, Douglasville, Georgia. Ms. Marcia Hampton, Ms. Miranda Jordan will handle this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have no additional information unless your legal staff does.
Any questions or comments by the council? Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve item 24-287.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved by the committee chair, Councilmember Chris Watts, and second by Councilmember Samuel Davis to approve item 24-287. The coach opened up for any questions, but has anyone thought of anything in that quick couple of seconds? If not, all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-287 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all we had tonight under finance.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll move on to item 10, which is Housing and Community Affairs Committee. I'll ask Mayor Pro Tem if you don't mind taking that committee. And if you will take the next 3, I'm just going to say them, but if you don't mind taking.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Under the Housing and Community Affairs Committee, we have no business at this time. Under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, we have no business at this time. And under the Personnel and Organization Committee, we have no business at this time.
There you go. We did a strike. Bowling alley. Thank you. We'll move on to item 13, Planning and Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller, which we do have business. So I'll turn it over to you, Councilmember Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Yes, we do have just a
Plenty.
few things to go over this evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Our first item is 24-277, to consider a request for final replat approval for the purpose of establishing the as-built locations of the townhome buildings for lots 49 through 56 of Laurelwood Phase 2 for 12.018 acres at 5059 Reservoir Drive and land lots 23 and 24. District 1, Section 5, application by FR Arbor Place. And Mr. James Gordon is here to go over this item with us. Maybe?
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good
James Gordon, 6695 Church Street. I have no additional information to lend at this time, but I will take any questions.
Thank you so much. I know that we went over this the other night, and there was a question regarding some landscaping, and we've discussed that, and I know that there is a plan underway. So, not that that should affect this final replat, but I just wanted for the record those, I know Councilman Miller was concerned about that with that backing up to his neighborhood. Council, did y'all have any other questions about this item? Madam Mayor?
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. Of course, I was out of town with the Atlanta Regional Commission in New York, but I did watch the video. Are we going to include those 19 exceptions that are on here, those permitted exceptions?
Are you
in
saying, do we
exhibit-
need a,
Exhibit B?
I don't think
Do we include those, or?
that we have to read anything else.
Oh, we don't have to read it. I'm just saying, are they going to be included with the,
They were
Madam
already
Mayor,
included.
those were part of a deed.
Oh, it's just a
Yeah,
plat.
it was just part of the legal description that was included on the original agenda item, but it is not included with the final resolution, just the plat.
okay, so that's for later. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Were there any other questions, council? Okay. With that being said, then I make a motion then that we approve item 24-277.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved and second, moved by Councilmember Miller and second by Councilmember Watts to approve item 24-277. Do we have any other concerns, questions, comments as it relates to this item from council? I don't see any raised. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-277 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
All right. You guys may have to bear with me a little bit as we navigate through a few of these items. I've got some directions here, but I'm not sure that I've really went through all of them yet. So our first item is item 24-251. That is a motion to remove from the table item 24-193.
Okay.
Point of order, do we need to vote on that to remove that from the table? Okay, all right. Which of course was the item that we had seen previously. Council, did y'all have questions about that? No. With that being said, then I make a motion that we approve item 24-193.
No, 251.
Pardon me?
Oh, my apologies.
No, no,
I make a motion, I'm so sorry, that we approve item 24-251.
Yes, to remove from the table item
Which is to remove from the table,
24-193.
yeah.
I understand.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a motion to remove this item from the table. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 24-251, which is the motion to remove item 24-193 from the table. If we don't have any concerns or comments, all those in favor of approving this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-251 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, item C is the removal from the table. Now you can deal with item C.
Now, item 24-193, tabled from July 15th, 2024, says to consider a request, excuse me, I've got pop-ups. Consider a request for a change in zoning from R2, single-family residential, to R5, single-family cottage residential for 33.26 acres located at the intersection of Campbellton Street and I-20 and Land Lot 22, District 1, Section 5, parcel IDs C014, C015, C016, C018, C076, C077, C088, C089, and Land Lot 23, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 0024, application by Trayton Holmes, and Ms. Shayla Reed is down here for this item.
Greetings, Mayor and Council. Shayla Reed, Community Development Director at 6695 Church Street. This particular request was requested to have a withdrawal for this application. It pertains to the very next item.
Right.
So this one is being requested to withdraw.
Okay. Does that make sense, everyone?
So we don't have to take any action?
So we're voting to withdraw this from the table.
It's already taken on the table.
Need- And no action.
No
Oh, we just take
action, no action.
Okay, my apologies. Okay. So then we will take no action.
Mm-hmm.
Move on to item D.
Mm-hmm.
That is item 24-269, says to consider a request for a change in zoning from R2 Single Family Residential Detached to R3 Single Family Residential Detached for 33.26 acres located at the intersection of Campbellton Street and I-20 in Land Lot 22, District 1, Section 5, parcel IDs C014, C015, C016, C018, C076, C077, C088, C089, and Land Lot 23, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 0024, application by Trayton Homes. And Ms. Shayla Reed is still here to go over this item with us.
Okay.
Thank you. As mentioned, this is the same item. They're requesting something different. The first item was to rezone from R2 to R5. After conversations with the applicant, they've decided to change their request from R2 to now R3. But at this time, they're asking to table the request, but I would like to defer to the applicant for the reasoning behind that.
Okay. Oh, I do see him over there, okay. Mr. Fowler, would you like to come? If you'll just give us your name and address.
Post Office Box
49, Douglasville. I'm here on behalf of the applicant. One of the things that's been discussed since we started working with this site in December, after a number of meetings with residents, some of whom are here tonight, is that we needed to address the transportation issues. And unfortunately, although I had worked with Bruce Mercer in the county DOT department, I had not realized that until I heard Mr. Wynn say something about it the other night, that there actually is a very large DOT plan involved in what's going to happen at the intersection of Campbellton Street and I-20 that involves the relocation of the 270-degree exit onto Chapel Hill Road. You go across under the bridge and back around. They're changing that, so instead it'll be essentially a 180-degree turning movement that will line up with the exit onto Campbellton Street and a traffic light placed there. Mr. Wynn had mentioned that, and even though I had been asking the DOT for whatever was going to go on in that area, I actually got the plat last week after our meeting. There are plans to take Hospital Drive, where it intersects Campbellton Road, and make that a 3 left-hand turn intersection going toward I-20, 3 lanes, not 2, and then 1 that curves to go north, but no plans for Elizabeth Drive at all. We need to see the interface between what our plans are, at least at this stage, where we were going to have a dedicated left off Elizabeth, a dedicated straight to go onto Hospital Drive, and a dedicated right to go out. We were not able to do that between last Thursday night and now, and we would respectfully request that you let us keep it on the table while we explore precisely what we may be required to do when the DOT insists on these improvements and what the DOT would otherwise do on their own. It's my understanding that these improvements that I've just summarized are off into the future, 2 or 3 years, but we need to be cautious about what we are suggesting to you that we can do in order to alleviate the traffic problem coming out of these proposed 58 homes. It's a much, much different project from our perspective, not so much from the citizens, but the reduction from 83 to 58 units. It's a tightening effect on what may be able to be done in terms of traffic improvements, and we just need to get a good glimpse of that. So that's the reason for our request to table, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you for that. Can we table an item without a date on it, though? Okay. Was there, I know you said you weren't, it sounded like you weren't sure about time, but was there a time frame that we can put on this?
Well, I was instructed to request 30 days, and with the council's permission, that's what we've been asked for.
Okay, so looking at that, we are.
We have the dates, City Manager.
Yes, 30 days, Mr. Fowler, that would be September 12th and 16th. Does that work? Because if not, the next meeting date following that would be October 3rd and 7th.
May we table it to October 3rd and 7th? That will give us more time.
We can.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's your pleasure, Madam Chair.
Council, are you guys okay with that? Coach, you looked like you had a question for that.
I'm okay with it. I just wanted to ask Mr. Fowler, will the residents, is there a way to keep them in the loop as y'all go through this process, or is it just at the end after you work things out with GDOT, or how will we catch them up? So
Frank and I were able to have a conversation about it out in the hallway, and we agree that we all need to understand fully what's going to be required. So make that a requirement of the tabling, and I'll make this old lawyer cooperate for once.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then, so let's, we said.
October 3rd and 7th.
Thank you, October 3rd. So then, council, let's make a motion then that we table item 24-269 to the meetings of October 3rd and 7th.
All right, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Watts to table item 24-269 to the meetings of October 3rd and 7th, 2024. We've had a report from Attorney Fowler. Do we have any questions or comments from council members about this item in tabling it? It doesn't seem like there are any. All those in favor of tabling item 24-269 to the meetings of October 3rd and 7th, 2024, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-269 is tabled to the meetings of October 3rd and 7th, 2024.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Our next item is item 24-253.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Oh, so yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I thought I had it backwards. To consider a petition to annex 1.529 acres of the intersection of Lee Road and I-20 and land lot 719, District 18, Section 2, parcel ID 0002 and 0016. Application by Mr. Patel, and Ms. Shayla Reed is down here to.
Yes, ma'am. I have no updates, but I would like to ask for, if Miranda, if you could help to remind the process of which piece goes first for annexation and rezoning.
Yes, ma'am. So, Mayor and Council, you will consider the rezoning portion of this annexation application first, which is item F.
Okay.
And that way, if there's a decision other than favorable to the applicant, then they can withdraw their request for annexation at that time.
Okay. So then let's skip ahead to item F.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm not updating. Okay. Item 24-252 says to consider a request for a change in zoning from general commercial and a portion of planned residential development district to general commercial district city for 3.266 acres at the intersection of Lee Road and I-20 and land lot 719, District 18, Section 2, parcel IDs 0002, 0016, and a portion of parcel 0005. Application by Mr. Patel, and Ms. Shayla Reed is still here to go over this item with us.
Yes, ma'am. As mentioned, this is a rezoning request that is also in conjunction to the annexation item that was previously mentioned. This particular parcel is requesting to rezone from your general commercial with the county, then PRD with the city, over to GC, which is general commercial. So those two separate pieces, whether it be the county zoning and the city's zoning, will be rezoned over to general commercial. The purpose of that is to have for a gas station with pumps, gas pumps that is, with a liquor store to be attached to that as well, or to that development. As mentioned, the parcels nearby have similar zonings of general commercial. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, I feel like last week, we kind of talked about both items at once, and then we just went back to do, then I guess, the annex portion. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is the applicant here, and did they have anything to add to this?
Yes, ma'am. Joe Fowler again, Post Office Box 489. Here with us this evening is the owner of the property, Mr. Mike Griffin. He was the developer of the apartment complex that's close by. He would like to reflect on their support for this request as the property owner, separated a good bit, as we discussed last time, from the apartment complex, but his belief that this would not be inconsistent with the appropriate use of that property and its impact on the nearby property owners. In that connection, I'll just read in the record a letter that I received from the Lee Road Self-Storage Facility located on Lee Road. It's a gentleman named Benjamin Zuckerman. He is stating to the council, I'm writing in support of the requested rezoning and the use on review for the real property located at the two addresses that you have before you. He states that we support the fact that the applicant is seeking to construct a convenience store, gas station, and package store selling beer, wine, and spirits. As neighboring small business owners, we support this type of use for the property. In addition to taking unimproved and challenging property, this property is right off the highway and is a great spot for uses that support the local community as well as the highway traffic. So we request your support for it. With your permission, Mr. Griffin would like to come up and make a comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
You allow him to come?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike Griffin, 999 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm with Shelton McNally Real Estate Partners. We're the owners and developer of the Novo Sweetwater community. We were before you guys maybe 3 years ago, I believe, on a rezoning for our project, and we greatly appreciate the support you gave us then. Our community's well underway. We acquired the property in early 2022, started construction later that year. Hope to be finished with construction here in the next 30 to 60 days. We began leasing our community in April of this year. We're about 40% leased. Things are going great. Community looks great. Hope you think so as well. But we just wanted to offer my support for Mr. Patel and his project. So as you know, we're the owner of 2 of the 3 parcels that he is looking to rezone. The other was the former Waffle House parcel that DOT came in ownership of during the road widening. That parcel has been acquired by another gentleman, and he's partnered up with us in offering all those properties for sale. So when we decided to do our development, at the time, as you remember, there was a former Chevron station that was vacant, sitting there at the corner. And we just felt that sitting there wasn't a great look as we get into developing our community and trying to lease it, and people see that when they come as prospective residents to our community. So we ended up buying that. Shortly thereafter, we demoed that property, and our intent was just to clean it up and have something different and better there than a former gas station that was in pretty bad shape. So once we cleaned it up and got rid of it, we decided to offer those properties for sale, see if we could find somebody that was willing to come there and build a new development that we thought would be beneficial to our community and current and future residents. And Mr. Patel stepped up, and he's before you with his project, and we think it's a great addition to the area. There's a need for some more services in that immediate area at that interchange. As you know, most of the residents of our community probably have to go on down to the Publix a couple miles down the road, so having something right there would be helpful. But with that property, there are some challenges. The access is pretty challenging. The access to the property goes through the Water Sewer Authority lift station, that drive, which is actually on our property. That's an easement over it and up to it. So, we've got about collectively a little bit over 3 acres there, separated from our community by a creek and a bunch of wetlands. Our community sits back in. So just wanted to come this evening to offer some support for the project to Mr. Patel, and just let you know, as the adjoining property owner, we're fully in support and see nothing but a benefit to our community and our residents there.
Thank you for that, Mr. Griffin.
Thank you.
Council?
Nothing further, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Fowler. Council, do you guys have questions? Coach?
Yes, ma'am, thank you, Madam Chair. This question is for Ms. Reed. The request to rezone, part of that property, I don't understand, part of the property is general commercial and part of the property is PRD, or?
Yes, sir. So there's a portion of land that's within the county, and that portion is general commercial. There's a piece of land that the current apartment complex has that also abuts the piece that's in the county. So what would happen is there's two separate parcels, the one that's in the county, that's general commercial, and there's a piece that's an apartment complex. They have subdivided and taken a portion of that piece that's on the apartment off to rezone it from PRD to general commercial. And then at some point, they're going to merge those two parcels to make it one. So that way, they'll have more land to build.
So I guess my question is, they need the PRD to change in order to do the liquor store.
That would be correct.
Okay, thank you, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Anyone else?
So I guess then I will just share, because and Madam Mayor, I know you weren't able to be here with us last week. We had talked about this in quite a bit of detail. And we've looked at our numbers, and we currently have 12 liquor stores right here in the city limits to service the residents that we have. And we have went back and added a code now so that we can't have liquor stores closer together than, I believe it's half a mile radius is what we have now. But when you're right there at the proposed site for this gas station and liquor store, just 1 mile down the road, right off the exit of Thornton Road, you have a liquor store. About 1.5 miles down the road, now I'm estimating it that one, towards our industrial area, you have another liquor store. Or of course, you know, there's another 10 of them back this way as well. I'm not saying that, you know, a gas station might not be helpful, although there is one just right across the bridge right there. I'm not going to argue that fact, but I do feel like the residents of this new apartment deserve more than just a liquor store. I would like to see something better for our residents than another liquor store. And I would hope that some applicants could come forward with something to offer our residents more than that. But I would love to hear what you guys think.
I think you're just waiting for the motion, and then they'll make comments. That's
Okay.
what I want to get.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you guys don't have anything else to say, then, well, then I'm going to make a motion then that we deny item 24-252.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to deny this item 24-252. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Bordali. It's been properly moved and second moved by the chair, Councilmember Miller in, Nicole, and second by Councilmember Dr. Bordali to deny item 24-252. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns as it relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of denying this item, please say aye.
Aye.
The nay?
Yes.
Okay, Councilman Davis, so the ayes have it. 24-252 is denied.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Now, traveling
We go back to E.
back to E.
And we would just respectfully withdraw item E for the annexation. The property owner requests that if that use is not going to be authorized, that we withdraw application that is in agenda item E. It's 24-253.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you don't have to take any action.
We are not going to take any action then on item 24-253.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item 24-226 is to consider a request for a special land use permit for a family personal care home for a property zoned R2, single-family residential detached, for 1 acre on Cedar Mountain Road in land lot 194, District 2, Section 5, parcel ID 0307, application by the Chan Foundation. And Ms. Shayla Reed is down here to go over this or answer any questions that we may have.
Thank you. This particular location, or this particular property is within Ward 3, and they're requesting to have a personal care home. The properties around are all residential, so it allows for there to be the opportunity for the personal care home.
Thank you so much. And I know we had went over this the other night. Did the applicant have anything to add to this? No? Okay. Council, do you guys have any questions regarding this item? Madam Mayor, it was a wonderful presentation. It's a beautiful
Yeah, I
thing
saw
that they're
the,
proposing
I
to
watched
do.
the video.
Okay.
It's-
Oh,
mhm.
very good.
I would
Disabled.
reiterate, again, like I said on Thursday, that Mr. Bell and his wife have done some amazing work in this
Wonderful.
community and very deserving. And so we're very proud to have him as part of our community. Thank you, Mr.
Absolutely.
Bell.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much for that. All right, then I make a motion that we approve item 24-226.
Thank you so much. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem. So both the Millers, the chair of Miller N, and made the motion, and second by Miller T, to approve item 24-226. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns as relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-226 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Make sure I'm not skipping anything, okay? Item 24-254 says to consider a request for a change in zoning from Planned Unit Development District to Light Industrial District for 95.052 acres at Riverside Parkway and Roberts Road in Land Lot 169, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID 0004, application by Tributary Land Partners. And Ms. Shayla Reed is here to answer any questions we may have about this item.
Yes, ma'am. As mentioned, this is a request for a data center. The applicant presented about 8 different conditions they wanted to agree upon to the city. And with that being said, your planning commission recommended approval with their last meeting.
Thank you. And did the applicant have anything that they wanted to add?
Madam Chair, we have no additional information from last week, but certainly happy to answer any questions if there should be any.
Thank you. Council, do you guys have any questions about this item? No? All right. Oh, hold on. Sorry, there's too many items from here. All right, guys, then I make a motion then that we approve item 24-254.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved by the Chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Watts to approve item 24-254. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns for Ms. Sellers or staff?
Just for clarification for the record, just is the motion to approve with the conditions?
Thank you for that. And do I need to read those conditions off? Or just, okay, so maybe we should restate that. Thank you.
We amend the motion to,
Yeah, let's
to approve.
amend that then to make a motion to approve item 24-254 with the conditions as stated.
Thank you so much. I have a motion to approve with the conditions that are presented in the applicant, application. Coach, do you give your second again?
Second.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It's properly moved in second to approve item 24-254 with conditions. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-254 is approved with conditions that are presented.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. Standard.
Item 24-256 is to consider a request for variance from section 5.04 of the Unified Development Ordinance to increase the maximum principal building height from 50 feet to 75 feet on a land lot of 95.052 acres located at Riverside Parkway and Roberts Road in land lot 169, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 0004, application by Tributary Land Partners. And Ms. Shayla Reed is down here to answer any questions we may have about this item.
Yes, ma'am, this is a concurrent variance to the last item. They are requesting to allow for, I guess, space that's being missed from the sloped area and stream buffers to be placed above to increase the building height.
Right.
With that, your planning commission recommended approval of that item as well.
Okay, thank you. And just for clarification for anyone that may be listening, I know I wasn't sure about this, but our maximum building height for these types of buildings is actually much lower than it is for other types of buildings, so this isn't exceeding anything else that we've done.
Correct.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions, though, regarding this item? Then I make a motion then that we approve item 24-256.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Burdanley. It's been properly moved by the chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Dr. Burdanley to approve item 24-256. Do we have any additional comments, questions, concerns? Let me see if we have any conditions. Okay. If not, all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-256 is unanimously approved.
Thank you. All right, item 24-266 is to adopt a proposed ordinance to amend Articles 10, 11, and 12 of the Unified Development Ordinance regarding Georgia's zoning procedures law. Ms. Shayla Reed is here to answer any questions we may have.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor and council, before you is a text amendment that the state is requiring for us to adopt. But in addition to that, staff has taken the opportunity to look at a particular few areas just to clarify and clean up some language so that it can make it a lot more simplified for us as we conduct development or businesses for business licensing. So with that, we respectfully ask for approval of this item as it was a state-initiated as well as staff-initiated text amendment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you again, you and Ms. Jordan, for all of your time and energy and effort, and I think blood, sweat, and tears that have went into all of this document that's in front of us. I know we've been talking about it since, I think, January or February, but it's a lot to digest. Do you guys have any questions regarding this item?
It's all the blue and the red and the yellow and the green. All these markings. Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, with that being said, guys, I make a motion that we approve item 24-266.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Councilman Hudson. This has been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Hudson to approve item 24-266. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Hopefully everyone's gone through a lot of these items from the council. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-266 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Mayor, that is all that we have this evening for planning and development.
Wee. You did, that was a lot. Okay. You have the next committee before you take a breath. Public Improvement and Beautification Committee, chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
And Madam Mayor, we have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move on then to Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Business at this time, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. Public Safety, Councilmember Dr. Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, Councilmember Burdanley. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor, in Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elaine Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Technology Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. And last committee, Councilmember Dr. Burdanley, is Transportation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under transportation.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Any other business to come before council tonight from the body? Did you put your microphone on? You want to say something?
I do.
Yes, ma'am. What you got?
Since I have most everyone here, being as how this is not an election year, I think that we should do the chili cook-off together.
I know, we've done it before.
And it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I would just make maybe a request, we can have an honorary council member come and help us, who's in the audience because his wife decorates so well.
I second that, I second that motion.
Councilmember Adams and his wife, I don't know, they travel now, grandparent duty, so you never know, but yes, I think it'd be a wonderful idea.
Oh, I think they want to do that. Okay.
You think they
thank
want to
Madam Mayor.
decorate?
He would be councilman emeritus, I believe, is what he would be.
Emeritus.
Official title.
I just wanted to agree with Nicole, and so maybe we could even challenge the county to a cook-off, the chili cook-off.
Are you laying it down,
I think she
Councilwoman
is.
Hudson?
I think we have an edge with Hudson's Barbecue, I don't know. But yes, ma'am, I think that's a wonderful idea for the chili cook-off. Any other, it's like doing a circus, any other comments from council members?
I like the idea of challenging the county.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
We'll cook off.
If not, we'll move on to updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dodson. Thank you, Mr. Dodson. Our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor, thank you.
You're welcome. Our chief of police, Dr. Gary Sparks.
Excuse me. We have a town hall meeting tomorrow from 6:30 to 8:30. We will be talking about internet safety, domestic violence. And we'll be at 2083 Fairview Road at your police department, 6:30 to 8:30. Tomorrow night.
Thank you. And Chief, is there, I know every year you publish all of our stats, and it gives us just a look at the past 5 years or so, a dashboard. Has that been published already in the newspaper?
No, but I have them. I know you received some info from the DA's office.
I did.
Yes, but I had those for you, and I'll send them to you.
Yes, sir. Just for the council or any public that may have heard that report on 11 Alive, I think they did a Wall Street Journal or USA Today or something, and it said about that our crime, we listed low as a city because we had high crime, but our crime is, you have the statistics, the crime has been lowered every year, so I don't know. And I think those are subjective sometimes, but we have gotten some reports from citizens about that. I don't want them to be concerned about our crime. So, but thank you. I know we used to publish it. I don't know if they just asked for that arbitrarily, or was that the standing thing? I know it's been in the paper before, our statistics. In the
You have
lower
random news outlets that produce those types of things, so, I mean, we've had it before. I mean, they pick and choose what their metrics are gonna be. Crime is typically one of them. But
Yes,
as the chief
ma'am.
says, he has his crime stats, and he usually has those posted. And I actually think they're on our website as well.
Yes, ma'am. I know, but the Sentinel used to do it every year. So I'm saying, do they not have a report anymore, or do we just provide them if someone asks for that information?
I'll have to get with Mr. Post. He may be in the back. He may be able to determine that information, but I'm not certain that we've been contacted from the Sentinel in a while.
Okay, just because, not that we take every concern seriously, but we do have the actual data, the factual data to say what the crime is in the city of Douglasville.
Yes, ma'am, we do this all the time.
Yes, sir.
Now, the next 6 months, we'll be in the best place to live.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I don't know why she sent that over to you, but we'll have that conversation with her.
Yeah, because it was in USA Today and on 11 Alive, and she got some calls.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Like I
Yes, sir.
said, because of social media, everybody thinks crime is rampant, because everybody seems like they know somebody who's a victim. That's the problem.
Well, thank you so much, Chief. I don't want to get your feathers ruffled. I was just asking the question.
We're gonna have a conversation with her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll move on then to our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. If you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us, we have this portion of the meeting is comments from citizens and delegates. You're welcome to come forward and talk to us. You have about 5 minutes. You have exactly 5 minutes to talk to myself and council members about any concerns that you may have as it relates to the city of Douglasville. No? Okay. We don't have any takers, as Councilmember Davis could say. If we don't have any other business to come before council tonight, this meeting is adjourned.